Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to the Berserk manga read through, where today we are starting volume 13. We're still knee deep in the eclipse right now, where some crazy stuff is happening. We're going to be starting off with chapter 80 and reading up to chapter 86 today, but we will be excluding chapter 83. I did mention in the previous video as to why that would be excluded. It looks like that from Miura's request, it be removed from the volumes, so it's actually not included in volumes for the manga. Eventually I will read it, or I can read it in like an offhand bonus episode where we kind of, I guess, consider it like non-canon to the story, and we can just kind of see what I think about it and share my thoughts on it. But for the sake of the story that Miura wants to tell, it looks like he has removed that volume, that chapter from the story. So it'll be chapters 80 to 86, but without 83. So let's get into it and let's see what we're starting with. So our front cover of volume 13 with some awful looking demons in the background, and our newly revitalized Griffith here. So we'll just read through and we'll skip over the contents to Berserk, Storm of Death. So where we left, this is exactly where we left off last episode, with Rickert looking over the battle of Zod and Skull Knight. Now, I'm fuzzy on these details from the anime, and I think I had this confusion last episode as well, as I can't remember where Rickert was during the eclipse. I can't remember if he was actually there and they removed the subplot, because I don't remember this stuff at all. So I'm just going to consider this as fresh and take it at face value. So Rickert is currently not branded. He got lucky, and he's not included in the visceral storm that's taking place, but he's also arrived here, so I'm hoping he doesn't get sucked into anything because this poor boy should stay far away from this place. So let's see how this plays out. Zod? Why is Zod in a place like this? And then that's... There he is. Skull Knight. The same from that flashback of when Skull Knight popped in to save him. Interestingly enough, this is actually a neat detail I hadn't noticed before, is the skull is not his face. I actually thought that this Skull Knight was some sort of skeleton demon monster guy, but looking at this, it looks like those have got some bolts in the side, and this would, I don't know, go up or come off. This is a mask or a helmet. This isn't an actual skull face, which is what I thought it was. What the hell's going on around us, all of us? Huh. So you did come. You, who've been our foe for a millennium. I figured you wouldn't let this chance slip past. And you were given the command to guard the gate, Immortal One. Hardly. I have no interest in their indulgent spree. What I seek are the strong. You should know that, old rival. Void would say that this too lies within causality's current. Very well, I wager myself upon my sword. Alright, Skull Knight v Zod, let's go. And then we're taken back into the feast, which is the Band of the Hawk members just getting absolutely and brutally ingested. Oh my god, the weird slug snail thing. I hate it. Oh my god. Casca's still just absolutely way too stunned to even really, like, acknowledge or move. And it's just like, what the hell? Big sis! She stands there and Pippin comes in with the save and smacks it in the face. Come on, Casca, I need you to move, please. Run! Pippin! Go! Run! Run! You have to survive! What are you saying? And then Judo comes in for the save and grabs her. What are you doing, Judo? Let go! Pippin's... Judo with his fancy knife throwing trick into the face of the demon, whatever face it's got. Pippin's still struggling though. God damn. Pippin! Go back, Judo, you're just gonna let him die? It's no use. You have to survive. You're our leader now. You must go on living. As long as our leader's alive, we aren't finished. You think I'm gonna let it all end like this? Fuck me. And Pippin goes down as he gets swarmed by a bunch of demons. Oh my god. Caucus having to witness his members just getting, like, eaten brutally. Captain! And he runs, he gets grabbed. Ugh, slices him on the back. Jesus, just rolling down the fucking hill. Yeah, Caucus is fucked. More people just getting absolutely fucked. Just, you know, this is... I'm at a loss for words at how disgusting this is. And how confronting it is, too, because this is just like... This is a lot. And then we've got Caucus fighting for his fucking life. And by fighting, I mean running. So he runs through like the sea of jaws and teeth clawing at him, and he runs further and further into the darkness, away from the fight, where he thinks that he's safe. A dream. It must be a dream. It don't hurt a bit. This is all a bad dream. Look, here's proof. Oh my god. Hey, wake up, me. Enough's enough. But still, where the hell did I come up with this dream? Midland, the Band of the Hawk. It ain't far-fetched for it all to be a dream when you think about it. It was way too good to be true for me anyway. So yeah, it's all a dream. This is a dream. I'll wake up and it'll be over. I'll wake up and I'll be nobody again. And he looks out into the darkness. He sees this feminine figure in the distance. Looky here, a woman in hell? I knew this was a dream. Damn it, why? A guy like me? And then I guess because in his mentality, because he thinks that it's a dream, he's like, well, fuck it, I can do what I want, and I'm gonna shove my face in some boobs. And he shoves his face in some boobs. And, damn it. This is I instantly recognize this monster too. This is the monster from the very first panel of Berserk. This is, strangely enough, it is a really weird scene in hindsight because of how important the scene is between Guts and Casca having sex. But the very first panel of Berserk being Guts' cheeks clapping a demon, you know? We're just watching his cheeks go hard on this monster, and then he just kills it. Because he knew as well. Guts knew that it was a monster. It was, that was his point. But I just find it weird. Like, there was obviously a part of himself that, like, allowed him, because he played along with the demon's trick. So it's probably not going to be something that's going to like trigger him or like set off his trauma and stuff like that. He just kind of went in to that situation to kill the beast, and then it's just funny in hindsight. I know that in that scene that's set after, you know, the Guts and Casca's first time, but it's just weird in a like watching in release order to see the first time that like us as readers see Guts engaging in a sexual act is the very first page of the story, and it's with a monster, and then the next time you know, that he's willingly doing it is you know, a much more different experience. But that is the end of Storm of Death, Chapter 1, where we see a familiar demon face embracing Caucus. And then we'll move into Storm of Death, Part 2, Chapter 81. We got our lovely boy, Judo, with his throwing knives, as always, being chased by a whole manner of beasts, and also another one in feminine form. And what I'm doing, by the way, is you might have noticed even in like the last episode that when there's just an absolute mess of like monsters and drawings and stuff in the background, and there's a couple of titties in there, it's not being so strict to like censor everything, because at the moment all I'm doing is really just playing by community guidelines. I'm really just not showing titties at the forefront of everything, you know, sort of thing, because I do have to flag things for nudity if it's included, etc., etc., in videos. So when there's stuff like in the background and it's like obscured and stuff like that, it's probably still there. Like I haven't missed it or anything like that. I'm intentionally leaving it because it's not really like that bad at all. But when it's like there's you know what scenes I'm talking about, where it's like very specifically the focal point, that's sort of the stuff that I have to censor. And I mean it's perfectly fine to do so. You're able to read this along with me in many other ways if you want that uncensored content, but this is not the place for being horny, and I will bonk you on the head. If you want titties, go and find them elsewhere. But I will keep the ones that are obscured in the background. It's more the ones when it's just like, hey, you see what the only thing on this page is? That's right, nudity. So don't blame me, blame YouTube. I have to get rid of it. You know, monsters literally leaving trails of corpses and armor just scattered along the ground, as like these dudes just have no chance. Like they've been with Griffith for so long, winning so many battles, countless battles, like just an extraordinary group under the morale of Griffith. But for the past year, their morale has slowly wavered and declined over time without him. And then they finally get him back, and they just get the sort of like reveal that he's not who they thought he would be anymore. He's not just going to be their knight in shining armor that's going to lead them to victory, and they'll move on and everything like that. Wild was just like, hey guys, look at this guy. He's nothing but, he's barely even alive anymore. He can't even swing a sword. He can't even walk. This is your leader. And that just breaks the band even more. And then right after that, they get thrown into this, and they're like, what the hell do we do? Like, it's been a hell of a time for the Band of the Hawk recently. Why? Is this hell? Did we sin that much? Is this where our blood-stained journey comes to an end? Or is this really the nightmare you wanted? That's a good point to make there, which I'm glad that Casca is thinking, because this is the point where everybody is going, Griffith wouldn't do this to us. Griffith wouldn't do this at all. We're like, this is outside of his control. This is, he's not sacrificing us. He'd never do that. Like, he's Here's our fearless leader. So we must just be like in hell, or is this a dream? Or everyone's trying to like rationalize it. When in reality, Griffith went, you know what? Fuck it. I'll sacrifice my whole band because they're, you know, this is my dream and they're here to help me accomplish my dream, and the only one who stood in the way of my dream was Guts. Answer me. Answer me, Griffith. Is this really the nightmare you wanted? Ooh, nice work, Judo, but he did get striked on the shoulder because of it. What the fuck is that thing? We got some bird-looking ass Venus flytrap, fucking pointy butthole chicken. Judo just deals with it immediately. That's good. That's a monstrosity. Get that out of here. Judo, right side. We've got a monster that has teeth as eyes. Where are his eyes? What the fuck? Casca helps. Judo! And stabs it in the face. Oh, its eyes are on its hands. Oh, and it's got a face. What the fuck? Okay, that must be kind of awkward when you like when you're needing to walk and all you're looking at is the ground, but I guess that's what this face is for. I don't know, man. That's just crazy. None of this makes sense. Are you alright, Judo? Yeah, you saved me. He's almost completely just lost his arm. Like, when you look at these things, these are people who became these things. These used to be humans, and they, you know, used the Bailet to become this, I guess. And it's like, you willingly became this thing and called it a day. That's enough. Let's just go back. No way. It's the same wherever we run. They'll follow us however far we go. We don't even know if there's an exit. At least let's fight beside everyone to the end. Shut up. You'll bite your tongue. Judo. Struggle. Keep struggling, and struggling until the end of ends. Then struggle some more. There's no fighting just to die. That's what I'd say if I were him, right? Oh, as they're about to get... Is seeing a shadow in the distance, and they ride over the top of it. Oh, and it opens up its middle and just chomps on the horse's legs, stopping it dead in its tracks, throwing Judo and Casca off of it. Oh, what the fuck? What the fuck are these things, man? Eyeball tits. Tentacles coming out of the head. Oh, and it just goes straight into Judo. You don't have to. Stupid. Move. Move it. Oh my god. As like the tentacles like flail wildly, like whipping and shredding apart Judo's back. Why? That's enough. Stop it. At this rate, you'll... God, I think that might be it. Oh, it's almost it. Judo just taking a fucking beating for Casca right here. I love Judo, by the way. He's such a good character. My last one. And he throws out his last knife and it goes right into the eye of it, which quickly allows Casca to grab a sword and slice right through the torso. Nice. Judo, did it hit? My last knife? Yeah, it hit. You killed it. Now, go. What? What are you saying? Didn't you just say we'd struggle to the very end? Now, on your feet. No complaining. I'm taking you if I have to drag you. Unlike Guts, I'm kind of fragile. Okay, no need to shout. I'll stay with you. Even if I gotta crawl. I shouldn't have said that. Yeah, you bet you're coming with me. Take responsibility for what you say. I'm all talk, after all. Really. If you've got time to shoot your mouth off, step it up. I've always tried to be a smooth talker, but in the end I missed my chance to say it. Damn. To tell you that important thing. But now, these must be my last words. You sure do cry a lot. you know? Although, personally, I always thought I was a bit smoother than that. Oh, Judo. When he's just like, oh, I didn't get to say what I wanted to say, but these are got to be my last words. I always thought I was smoother than that. Getting his thought process along with his final words is really sad. Judo? Oh my god, and all manner of things following, coming out of the darkness as Judo has fallen, and it's just Casca on her own now, with some of the most disgusting things I have ever seen. Oh my god, look at this dog. Look at this dog boy. This is a shell with legs and a tongue/penis. This guy's miserable. That's a face within a lizard. That's, this is literally a bloodborne parasite. That's fucked. This guy's in a lot of pain with a face torso with like a penis, vagina for a mouth. This is a Silent Hill monster except with a mouth involved. Miserable creatures. As Judo places... Casca places Judo down, carrying the sword, and keeps on struggling. She pushes through with a ferocity that mirrors Guts' tenacity, and the sword is instantly halted by one of the beasts and shattered. Sacrifice. A sacrifice. Woman. Sacrifice. Sacrifice. Woman sacrifice. Eat now? Guts. Eat her now? Sacrifice before that. Sacrifice before that. Yes, before that. Before... Guts! Oh, good. Okay. And then this is the end of Storm of Death, Chapter 2, where we sort of see the... I guess this is really just kind of to showcase that all these monsters remember that they are also men, and while they will gladly murder and feast and eviscerate all of the human men, they'll all be fucking disgusting and vile and go, ooh, woman sacrifice. You know what that means, guys? You can't just eat it. You have to be, you have to do something else. And that's the end of Storm of Death, Chapter 2. Rest in peace, Judo. We're about to get into some really uncomfortable shit. I really don't know how much I can understand it being included to an extent and being showcased sometimes as a thing that happens, but I'm not sure how into the fact that, you know, I'm not sure how into it I am that Casca always seems to be quite frequently the subject of sexual assault because she is the female character in this group. They don't show it to other, because there isn't any other females in the band. We've seen it with Wild doing it to other women, and I don't know how necessary it really is to show it to this extent constantly. It's very confronting stuff. Also can be very triggering for a lot of people. And like I said, this is unfortunately a thing that happens and shouldn't happen in our society, and especially prevalent in a fantasy setting, and even in real life back in these ages of, you know, bows and arrows and swords and knights and kingdoms. It happened all too frequently. So I can understand it being shown as a part of what bad people do. Yeah, it's being shown a lot, and Casca gets put in a lot of I guess the problem in that last panel as well is that it doesn't look, that situation almost doesn't look like, it's not drawn in such an uncomfortable way. It's drawn in a way where it sexualizes her at the same time, where it like rips her armor off in a way that you can see her female form and being like completely naked in that way, where here's her titties, and it kind of lessens the impact of what they're trying to show is happening. I guess that's all I'll say on that one without like running off on a tangent. But it's just yeah, that's it. Obviously, I do not condone sexual assault, and the lowest of the low commit these atrocities, and showcasing them in stories is a thing that happens. But it's all about how you do it, how you go about it, and how much needs to be shown, and also how you go about showing it, and how you approach and respect that sort of thing. Like Guts, his story, I said that I would stop, but I still have more to say. Guts' story about his sexual assault, I think, is handled very well. It's not made fun of. It's not made light of at all. It's treated as a very serious thing for his trauma and his motivations and why he does things and why he doesn't like being touched. Why physical intimacy is really hard for him, and he really struggles with that. On the other hand, Casca almost got destroyed by Wild in a previous chapter, and she's just fine, I guess. Like she, like it's she's it's strange in that way where that would be like, even for an adult brain, doesn't matter whether you're a child or not, even for an adult brain, it's an incredibly traumatizing thing to go through, and she's just kind of fine, or hasn't really struggled with that. She's like brushed it off, and then she's being thrown right back into that situation again. So it's very interesting that I think the sexual assault stuff is being treated with respect, and it's not being like too over the top, and it's very tragic and heartbreaking stuff to witness. But we'll just see how it plays out in the upcoming chapters. Because I am aware of another scene that will come up in the anime involving Griffith and Casca that I've seen, and if they were showing it in the anime in the way that they did, I have a very sinking feeling that the manga would show it in a little more of an uncensored way. So that's going to be another instance of it happening, which will just be very uncomfortable. So, but we also know why Griffith is going to commit that action, because of what we've been observing about him looking at Guts and Casca in the past. But let's continue with chapter 82 now, where we've got giant monster, surprise surprise, and we've got Guts with a broken sword slicing and dicing said monster, cutting off its narwhal horns. God of the Abyss. Oh my god, like all the eyeballs. That oh my god. We got another guy with these type of hands, except instead of it being an eyeball, it looks like it's a mouth, which makes much more sense. He then uses the horn, or the tusk, to shove it into the eyeball of another monster, and this dude's got a mouth that extends out, but it's also a body, and this is also a body coming out of a head, and these creatures. I actually from an artistic standpoint, I love monster design and character design and stuff like that. I love all of the designs. When I'm saying they're disgusting, it's in a way that's almost in a term of endearment, because I'm like, man, that is so fucked up. How did you come up with that? I love it. But it's at the same time, it's so disgusting to look at. Guts just being an acrobat out here, like, just having a great time. Stabbing a bunch of beasts and then accidentally face plants. Shoves it into the eye of another beast. Gets smacked around, gets sliced up, smacked to the ground. Once again, just... what the fuck is that? You know? Narwhal spear in hand, shoves it right in. Right into the face. Guts getting a kill count in here. Man's talented. And the fight is being observed by the God Hand. The boy does his best. It's ironic though, the stronger his life force and the greater his anguish, the more they become precious bread for the new life of darkness. Sweet dreams, blessed child. Oh wow. Until now, you have been a dream called Griffith. And when that dream ends, you will awaken into a dream from which you'll never wake, in a night that will never break. Wow. That is... this guy's got, like, little Shrek ears. That's cool. And Guts doing the thing where he chomps down. When he's got nothing else to lose or nothing else to use, chomps down on stuff to get thrown away. My god. The fact that he's actually, like, still standing at this point and what Guts goes through is insane. Ooh, there's like a sound effect here of like a thump, almost like a heartbeat thump is, I think, what's being shown here, like a doo-doo. And it's like he's feeling it. And he turns around to see more fucking monsters. Surprise, surprise. He has to dodge out of the way. Oh my god. Killing a whole bunch more monsters. I'm sinking. Ooh, hang on. Where's something else now? Farther from the light. Where is this? Where's my body? I'm sinking deep. Oh my god. What is this? Oh wow. Ugh, the fucking detail in all these shots here of seeing like the fucking heads being like ripped apart. Holy shit. All their deaths are piercing through me. Oh wow, this is Griffith. And he's like feeling and visualizing all of the death and sacrifice that is taking place right now. As his physical form like dissipates, I wished for it. I killed them. It's strange. I don't feel anything. I'm sinking. What's this? The crystallization of your last tear shed. When suffering so profound as to make someone rip himself apart is confronted, a heart is frozen. Something's there. Oh, it's like a spiral of balets? Balets? They are splashes, droplets of ideas that have spilled from this sea to eternity, summons to the other world. What are we getting into here? God? It's the end of God of the Abyss. What the fuck? That's really strange. So chapter 83, I guess, would maybe follow up or continue on this. And they, I guess, Mira decided to not follow up or follow through on it, and to maybe leave that to be a bit obscure. leave it maybe to the imagination of a future reader, because obviously people would have read it when it first came out, and then it was only removed later. But it looks like we've gotten that chapter ending with Griffith going, God? And then it's over. And then I guess the rest is now up for us to think about. We will take a read of chapter 83 at a later date. I'm not sure when. I could look at it soon, or I could look at it, once we're done. We'll have a look at it, and we'll see what information it gets, and just, I guess, disregard it. But there you go. So we're now into chapter 84, which is Lifeblood, which is just, again, Guts going crazy, stabbing some demons, and getting sliced back. And just so many cool drawings, by the way. Like, every single panel has been impeccably drawn with the detail, and communicating so well what it's trying to, visually communicating so well what it's trying to show. This stuff is insane. I just wish Guts would realize that Casca was in danger and stop killing monsters and going after her. Just feel it in your heart, man. She's in trouble. Find her. As he gets chased off and thrown off the hillside. Trying not to fall right down, using the tusk to, I guess, slow down the fall. Oh, and he's fucking tripped, and then he's just bouncing and tumbling down and being thrown off right at the bottom into a splash. I'm assuming this is just going to be nothing but blood down here. Is this blood? Yep, this is just corpses, man. This is just the remains. As he yells out. God damn. Isn't anyone still alive? Judo, Pippin, Caucus, Raiders, Casca, Captain? That's you, isn't it? Over there? Gaston, you're alright. I don't feel alright. What's the word? The Raiders. Where are the other survivors? I don't know. I was too busy running around. Next thing I knew, I'm like this. I don't know what happened to the others. Captain, what the hell's going on here? What do you think? All this? It don't seem real. It's like we're in the middle of some dream someone's having. Thinking about it, ever since that Zod monster showed up in front of us, it felt like something's been off. I'm sure that since that time we've been dragged into something strange. Gaston! That's enough. Stop talking. Nah, maybe the Band of the Hawk itself was. For a regular guy like me, those days were too grand, too vivid. After the victory parties, things always seemed so sad for some reason. Like when I opened my eyes in the morning, it had all up and vanished. That's how it felt. Everything about Boss Griffith as a person was just too different from us. Just like he was someone out of a legend. And we got pulled into the middle of some crazy story someone wrote. Why are we getting fourth wall breaky? Looks like I'm just a minor character. Gaston, cut the crap. We can't let a place like this... Oh, his head starts to bulge and then it just literally explodes. What the fuck? Oh my god, and a monster came out of it. Oh, it was like it was inside of him, eating him away, and then just explodes out of his head. That's disgusting. And then without a second thought, we've got Guts picking up arms once again as it slithers away, laughing. Gaston. Pippin? Pippin! You're all... Pippin? It ain't Pippin, my guy. Lifeblood. End. It ends with a puppeted Pippin. Face to face with Guts as we move into chapter 85. As Pippin is then separated torso from legs in this next chapter, which is holy shit. Quickening. Holy shit. We know who this is. We know who this is. This is the Count. Holy fuck. Chapter 85, Quickening. Guts and the Count. This is like their first meeting properly chronologically before the Black Swordsman arc. Far out. Then we get this double spread of just nightmares. I love the double panels so much because they're drawn differently. Like you can see like the drawing of the normal story, and then whenever we get like these double panels, all the detail is a little more like refined. Everything's sharper on these panels. I love it when we get a double spread for that reason. It's so good. And the Count then begins to munch on the body of Pippin. This is that female demon munching on Caucus with his face poking out. This man is deciding to wear this guy's feet, hands, and head like he's got Cheetos on his fingers. This man's collected a few bodies to hang out with. Fuck me. And Guts is just witnessing all of this horror around him. Bastards. This is just surrounded by laughter around him. Bastards! He just screams, and then, oh my god, because of course, right above him, he then witnesses and sees a naked Casca being held above the place, held above him, blood searing down from her body, and that's it for Guts to just like scream and just fucking charge in that direction to try and save her. God, can you think about how long this would have taken to draw? Like like there are parts like you know you read the whole thing, you're like, man, this would have taken so long, and then you look at panels like this and you're just like, geez, just think about how fucking long it would have taken to just put this together, like to actually make this make sense. Holy fuck. Like he's just in a vicious like speed. He's just fucking slicing his way through to try and get to her. Oh, and then like this fucking shit, right? Like, oh, and he gets his fucking arm chomped on. Is this scene? Oh, and yep, okay. Fuck me, man. Can you see the detail on this thing, by the way, that there are eyeballs? There are eyeballs on this thing. That's fucked. There's like a face there. There's a face penis. So Guts gets chomped on, held in place as, you know, and then we're taken to a pan shot of the god hand. Yeah, there's a face, see? Okay, so there's something happening which has prevented this from happening. In front of Guts, because I guess we're getting the sound effect of like the massive heartbeat like reverberating through the entire place. Start seeing like these veins forming in the hand itself. And then we see this. And that's the end of Quickening. And then we get into the final chapter. We get into the final chapter for this episode, which is the birth, the fifth blessed king. This is it, birth. The new demon king. Bruh. Void, Slan, Ubek, Conrad. Thou art our extension, our new kinsman to wear the mantle of evil. The wings of darkness, Femto. As he hatches from his egg, essentially. Wings extended. The fucking... oh, how this is being drawn of like a bird being born from an eggshell. There he stands. Batman. As he flies up. And then flies down to Guts. And there's that shot. Griffith? All the monsters have now stopped to observe and witness. The sound effects is literally the sound of silence. And then as we see this, so this is the scene. As we now see two legs come into frame next to Femto is Casca. And Griffith, or should I say Femto, does not break eye contact for a little while with Guts while this is happening. And then this is obviously, you know, we're aware of what's happening here, where Femto is just going, hey Guts, I've been watching you and Casca being intimate this whole time while I've been a shriveled version of myself, seeing you guys be intimate, and now look at the power that I have, and look at what I'm gonna just do now just because I feel like it, and humiliate you in front of all of the monsters here as Guts's arm is being fucking chomped on and is just forced to just watch this happening. And, you know, more stuff is happening where Casca kind of comes into consciousness a bit. It's like, recognizing Griffith, and then get a bit of an embrace there. And Guts desperately trying to get out, trying to stab the monster's head. It's just not going. So the next thing that he does is, well, fuck it, my arm's coming off. As all of the God Hand watches. As he's, with a love heart, laughing about it. As he begins hacking his own fucking arm off in a desperation attempt to get closer to them. And we have Casca saying no, because obviously she doesn't want this to happen. No one wants this to happen. Can only imagine what maybe that's supposed to represent. And the arm comes off as he just absolutely fucking screams, "Griffith!" And that's the end of birth. Oh my god. And that's the end of birth, man. That is where we leave this episode. That's where we leave the story. Where next time we start with chapter 87, where it's still not over, and there's more suffering to endure. We are struggling and we are suffering at the same time. But yeah, again, the scenes are very, very confronting. There's a lot in here, which is it's just a lot. It almost does try and, for the most part, leave you at a loss of words. I've said what I had to say about some particular things and how it's showcased. The scene that does, out of all of that does make the most sense for how these characters interact with each other and narratively is this final scene between Griffith, Casca, and Guts, because Griffith has observed them this whole time and it's very intentional as to why he's doing this thing, and then this is in Griffith's character because he did it before with Charlotte. He's a very much take what he wants kind of guy, and that's why Griffith is a fucking bastard. He's vile. Do you think I'm cruel? Yes, I think you're an absolute psychopath. But with that one, guys, that is the end of chapter 86, Birth. Next time we start with chapter 87, and we'll read through and we'll see how we go. I think we'll finish volume 13. We'll still be in the Golden Age for a while, but we'll see how we go in terms of getting through the Eclipse next time. So thank you so much for reading and struggling along with me. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video for the most part, and I will see you next time.